Hello, Africa. You're welcome to ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices Show, the show that tackles issues pertaining to women as they contribute to national development. How have you been? It's wonderful to see you again in on another Wednesday. And as usual, WCW, have you told the person you're crushing on how you feel? You still have got time. Please make time and let this special person know that you are crushing on them, especially if they're women, because it's WCW anyway. This show is proudly brought to you by very responsible brands, and I always start with Chana Shito. Chana Shito is Ghana's #1 pepper sauce, so you need to find them right now, okay? So wherever you are, if you're in town already, please ask any of the shops if they've got Chana Shito. If not, pick up the number right now, give them a call, they will definitely pick, and then you could continue the conversation from there. The packaging is wonderful, and what I like about it is the fact that in this very special season, you can gift people Chana Shito and you'll be making their day, trust me, okay? All right, we've got Lizzie's tomato mix as well, who is ensuring that Ghana jollof is always tasty and tastier than any other jollof in Africa. Yes, we said it here on African Women's Voices Show. So your stew, your banquet, whatever meal it is you're preparing, and you need tomato mix to sort it out, I need you to use Lizzie's tomato mix, and you would be testifying definitely. Pick up their number as well on the base of your screen right now. And my hair is by Awuz Hair. You can locate her on Instagram and on Facebook at Awuz Hair. Find her, tell her what you need. You want a home service? Do you want a special kind of treat? Do you want the hair to be bleached? Do you want it braided? She would definitely sort you out as she is sorting me out. And coming down to who has made this beautiful dress that I'm really rocking and enjoying. Do you see the gladiator sleeves? Well, it's Afariwa Styles. Afariwa Styles can be located here in Accra at Osu and also along the Teshinungwa Road at Rasta Bus Stop. Okay, so please, Container Bus Stop rather, on the Rasta Road. That's where you get to find her. And her phone number is also right now at the base of your screen. Please pick it up, okay? And find her on afariwa.styles, Facebook and Instagram. Great. As we do every Wednesday, we always give you an update about what's happening with women across Ghana and across Africa. So once you're an African woman and you've done something, we will definitely fish you out. So I'll be linking you right now to the 60 seconds update where we get to let you know what's happening with women. Do stay tuned.
A Ghanaian student at Harvard University has gotten America talking after donating a $40,000 scholarship from her high school to her less privileged classmates. Verda Annan, who has been awarded a full scholarship to Harvard University, gave away the $40,000 scholarship to her mates who would be attending community colleges. She stated that though she was very grateful for the honor bestowed on her, she felt that the scholarship should go to someone who needs it the most. I am so grateful for this, but I also know that I am not the one who needs this the most. And knowing my mom went to community college and how much that was helpful, she said. The Ghana Hearts Fair 2021 was held over the weekend by Millionaires Network Ghana. The event saw lots of talented people display their designs on the runway. The show also saw the host of African Women's Voices, Eunice Tony, championing women to contribute to the society in the millionaires industry. The interest of the fair was to empower women with special needs with millinery skills. It was all fun, educative, and empowering to see women gather together in growth. Actress Jackie Appiah has celebrated her birthday with residents of Konyi community in the Sangnarigo municipality of the Northern region. As part of the activities to mark the day, Jackie Appiah commissioned a mechanized borehole funded by Jackie Foundation for the residents. This support comes at a time the community is in dire need of potable water. Children and women in the community have had to travel several kilometers in search of water, especially during the dry season. This affected the attendance of students to school and its replications on performance and sometimes dropout.
And you Well, welcome back. Thank you very much, Miss Annan, for what you did, and we'll continue to tell your story until it gets to you, because we are so proud of your achievement and what you're doing for people. To have that kind of heart to donate your $40,000 worth of scholarship, I mean, it's really amazing and awesome, and we are so proud of you. So last week we had ladies that organized the Ghana Hearts Fair here in the studio, and we had a great time. So I'd like to let you know just a little bit of what happened at the place, and I want to say a big congratulations to the Millionaires Network here in Ghana for putting together such a wonderful program. I'd like you to take a look at the hearts that were on display there, and you know, get in touch with them and patronize them. It's all about empowering and supporting women here on ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices show. So when we return, we get to introduce our guest.
You also bring some advocacy. For young ladies, you know, you have to empower yourself. It doesn't matter your academic level. You really have to train your hands. Some have trained their minds, okay? And it's always good to train your hands as well, so that as you find yourself, wherever you find yourself, you'll be able to earn a living. So we have so.
If you didn't get the chance to actually be there at the fair, well, you get the chance to know what they do on their Millionaires Network WhatsApp platform or social media platforms. Check it out. You get to see what the members are putting together so that you can patronize them. So earlier on in the week, we also mentioned that we're going to be treating a topic that a lot of women shy away from, because we feel so relaxed having people do stuff around that particular thing. We feel so happy when they handle it for us, so we just relax. However, we here on ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices show, we are saying that if we say we want to be independent women, we want to be women who can really stand on our own and also get things to happen, there are certain things that we need to also know about, and includes our cars. So when we say we want to be empowered or independent, it doesn't exclude the cars, where we get to say, okay, as for the cars, no, I'm not going to do anything about my car. I would always get to ensure that my partner takes care of that. No, we want to teach you some things that you need to know, so that those rip-off mechanics will stop ripping you off. And myself as well, I also need to learn some things, some tricks, one or two, you know, and to help us do that is someone very special to ETV Ghana, and from a brand that's also very special to ETV Ghana, and that is CFAO. All right, so today we're going to be talking to one of the HR executives, the senior one particularly, and she is Anita Yankee. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices show.
Thank you.
So today that we get to talk to women about what they should know about their cars, over the top of your mind, do you relate, you know, to what I just said right now about how women, well, most of us, I know some actually know their cars. I'm sure
Yes.
you do know your car.
I do.
But a lot of us don't know about our car. Can you relate to that?
Yes, I can.
You can relate to it, right?
I can.
All right, so before we kickstart the conversation, I'll go for a commercial break. When we return, the show continues. Do not go away. And you're welcome back to ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices show. If you're just joining us, well, you haven't really missed much, but you need to be able to watch from the beginning, okay? So next time, do not miss it. 8 p.m. is the time you join us. Today, we're going to be discussing what women ought to know about their cars. If you want to send us comments, please send it to our Facebook page at ETV Ghana, all right? And as the show continues, I'll definitely acknowledge the presence of all of you who are watching us from various parts of the world on Facebook, as I usually will do. All right, so let's kickstart the conversation. So tell us, is it really possible to have a car that appeals to women?
Yes, it is.
It is possible? All right. Because a lot of times we see some cars and then people say, okay, as for this car, it's for women. And I just don't understand why you should just say that this car is for women. And then the other car, okay, this one is very masculine. I used to feel that women could drive any other car if they so wish. However, people just believe that some of them are at least very sleek and they really are very attractive to women. So she's going to let us know if it's a very normal thing to say this is a car that's attracted to women. Let's see. So you agree with the fact that some cars...
Well, yes, I do.
Okay.
I do. For me personally, I'm not too crazy about cars, but when I see a car and it looks good, you look at the shape, the curvatures, and you can tell, okay, this one would look good. I like cute, stylish cars. If I have to look through our brands, I would choose the Swift, the Suzuki Swift hatchback.
Okay.
So it's cute, it's petite, I like it, it's fun.
And it really works for a lot of women, right?
Yes, it does.
Okay, I would like us to take a look at how this car looks like right now. Okay, so yeah, that's what we have there. That's the Swift. Okay, you talked about the curvatures, and I see how it is. Okay, great. So now that we are back to the studio and we've seen how it looks like, you know, that's a Swift. So if you're somebody who is interested in cars, we need to begin to like increase our interest. A lot of girls are so not interested in cars as well. We're not car crazy like the men are, but we need to begin to do that because, I mean, if you want to be able to attend a function and look good, look presentable, look serious, the kind of car you drive to the place also matters. You know, yeah, it does. You don't want to drive that kind of car that when they want to see you off after a very good meeting, you don't want them to see you off because you don't like how the car is looking, you know. So let's try and see how we can save towards getting cars that will really tell our story better. So now that we understand that, could you tell me some of the things that a woman needs to know about her car? Because I mean, sometimes we see all those things that come out on the dashboard and you're wondering, okay, so what does this mean? What do I need to do? I mean, so tell me what we need to know exactly around our cars.
Thank you. Just like every mother would get to know when the child has a temperature, if a woman pays particular attention, she would be able to tell if there's a problem with the car. So first of all, you need to know the sound and the feel of your engine. If it's in motion, is it vibrating too much? Is there a noise that you're not used to? If there is, then it means you have to pay attention and get it solved. You also need to know how to open the bonnet,
which a lot of us don't know how to do. We don't even know how to
and also know how to
bonnet.
secure it safely. You have to make sure your car has a fire extinguisher. You have the triangle with the reflector lights, and also you need to make sure you have the jack and a wheel spanner just for when you need to change your tires. You need to also know where your spare tire is located. Sometimes it's beneath the vehicle, sometimes it's inside the trunk, and other times it's just behind the rear of the so you have to know all those things.
I hope you're taking note of all of this. You need to know where the spare tire is. Because they kind of hide it, especially those ones that are in the trunk, because they'll put it inside and then they'll cover it up. So you just don't know that there's a spare tire actually there. And even the jacks, you need to know where the jack is. You need to know how to open the bonnet and even how to, like the fuel tank. Sometimes we don't even know how to even, you know, get the fuel tank to get opened.
These days it's automatic. So
yeah, some fuel tanks here are automatic. So once you get to the petrol station, they can check it out for you. And in some places, some of the cars, you need to be able to, you know, push a lever for you to be able to open it. So just like a mother knows when things are not going so well with her baby, we need to begin to see our cars as a baby as well, which we always argue with the guys about because the guys tend to love their cars so much. So there's always competition between the woman and the man's car. So maybe we also need to begin to step up to that point where the car also becomes our baby, and then we'll see how it goes. All right. But when you do that, competition aside, it helps you to get a better understanding of your car, and then you also feel safe and more confident and comfortable if you're moving with your car. I want us to take a look at the items you mentioned that we need to have in the car. So you mentioned that we need to have the spare tire, the fire extinguisher, we need to have the jack, you know,
the wheel spanner.
and the wheel spanner. What again do we need to have in the car, if there is? That is very important. That, I mean, you may not really be expecting that you need it, before you know it, I need this.
The first aid box.
The first aid box.
And a bottle of coolant.
Okay.
For the overheating.
For the overheating.
If you don't, maybe you can use water. You can keep water. Water is not very advisable, but in case you don't have the coolant, you can use the water.
Okay. So coming down to maintenance, what should a woman know about maintenance? I know that for some petrol stations who do maintenance work for cars, when you go, they give you a date for the next one.
Yes.
But well, not every woman uses the services of, you know, such petrol stations. So for someone who doesn't use such services, what does she need to know? Is it supposed to be maintained every month, every 2 months? How often should maintenance be done?
So if it's a new car, fresh from the showroom, what we call the tear rubber, then the first service is usually done on the 1,000 kilometers.
Okay.
1,000 kilometers. And the second and subsequent services is normally done on the 5,000 kilometers. Now, if you're unable to read the mileage indicator, then you can use the 3-month interval. So every 3 months, you know you have to go and have it serviced. You need to check. And depending on how you're using the car, sometimes there might be some issues, major issues. That one you have to go and get it checked, even if it's not due for servicing. Now, with that said, if you have a car that is above 100,000 kilometers, as much as you'll be doing your usual 5,000 kilometer service or the 3 months intervals, you need to always check the oil level and the coolant. The reason is because we sometimes, especially when we buy a pre-owned vehicle or the second-hand vehicles, we don't know the history. And because it's that old, the engine is overworking, leading to wears and tears. If that happens, you realize most of the time your oil level is low. There might be leakages here and there, leading to overheating. And when that happens, it affects the engine. If the engine is damaged, it's equivalent to buying a new car.
Okay. Whoa. And then that brings us to the point where we ask ourselves, how do we even know where the oil tank is, like, for you to be able to?
So you have to open the bonnet.
You have to open the bonnet, you know, and then get to figure it out and then check. Even, you know, there's this tool that you use to check to see the level.
Check. And normally
you
check when it's cool.
You check it when it is cool.
Yes, and you need to make sure the oil, when you dip in the stick, you need to make sure it's above the minimum level, never below. If it's below, you need to top it up. And if you realize when you top it up and it easily goes low, then there could be a leakage somewhere, so you need to check it.
To get it fixed.
Yeah.
Sure. So now that we know things that ought to be in the car, let's take a look at what we women leave in the car. And sometimes we feel it's nothing, but you will let us know if it's, I mean, how bad it is. For instance, women, we leave stuff like maybe our bottled water because, well, we want to be hydrating ourselves all the time, so we take a lot of water, so we forget our bottled water. Even sometimes our medication, because we don't want to forget it at home, we put it in the car. You see, so we leave stuff, our deodorant, we leave it in the car. And, you know, we move with a lot of things like our shoes, our bags, we move with just our whole building. So if we need a spare, we always dash into the car and then we pick it up. Which of these items are detrimental to our health? Like, we shouldn't do that at all.
Okay, so definitely the bottle of waters, leaving bottle of water in the car, your medication, the deodorant, even maybe hand cream. And certainly not knives, guns. You would say that's for protection, but it can be used against you in case you're not able to handle it properly. Now, some of the things that you could actually have in your car includes making sure you have your first aid box, you have your fire extinguisher, you have an extra clothing for
Okay.
weaker women. Some feminine products. Sometimes it comes handy.
Okay.
You should
So,
also
sorry to cut in, but is there a particular place in the car where maybe if we put them in,
maybe
it's
in
safer?
the glove compartment.
In the glove compact.
Yes.
Okay.
Then you should also, some of the things you could also have in your car is, I've already mentioned the first aid, but okay, you could also, this is for self-defense. I know
Okay.
most people don't have it. I think you should always have, if it's possible, a stun gun
Okay.
or a pepper
spray.
pepper spray. That's also good.
Okay. All right. So the bottled water, the challenge with it is that, I mean, it probably gets contaminated.
Plastic, water, the whole chemical reaction. These days, there's all sorts of cancer, skin health problems, so it's not advisable. The same for medication. If you realize, they will normally say, keep this medication from direct sunlight. So
Yeah.
why would you leave it in the car, exposing it to direct sunlight?
Sunlight.
So definitely
Okay. So likewise, deodorant as well.
deodorant, not to leave it. Aside that, it could cause an explosion because sometimes the gas evaporates or it needs to expand, and if there's no enough space to do that, it explodes and can cause
Whoa, you could just be inside the office or wherever it is you are and then hear boom.
boom.
Oh. Okay, so we'll go for another quick commercial break, okay? When we return, I'd like to read your questions about what you need to know about your car, and then we'll help you out. Do not go away. And you're welcome back to ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices show. And I am coming right now on Facebook to acknowledge the presence of a lot of you who are watching us from various parts of the world. And I'll be starting with, I see from the UK, Ezinwanne Okereke. She's an ardent viewer of African Women's Voices show, and she's ever ready to show her wave whenever she gets on board. Ezinwanne, thank you so much for watching us from the United Kingdom. I also see Ifoma Ikekoa from the United States of America. She's watching. I see a wave from somebody in Australia. She says she's called Natasha. Just says, I am waving. I'm seeing you right now. Thank you, Natasha. I see a wave from Tokyo. Yes, great. I see a wave from China as well. I see a wave from Bangkok. And I see another wave from, says New Mexico. Well, thank you very much for watching us from there. I see a wave from New Delhi. Thank you so much. That's in India. All right, coming down to Africa, I see Madagascar. I see Sri Lanka. I see waves across most parts of Nigeria, Abuja, Enugu, Lokoja, Calabar, Oka, Newi. I also see some waves from Lagos, from Port Harcourt. I see from Uyo. I see another wave from Zamfara State, also in Nigeria. Thank you all for joining into the show, African Women's Voices show. Coming down to Ghana, I see Volta, 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 Volta. All the waves from Volta are moving on. Accra is also sending in their waves. Sunyani is sending their waves. Tumu is sending in their waves. Laura as well. And I see Sola. Sola, yes. We had a terrible news today about people in Sola. About 9 people were killed in a VIP accident. And we really, our hearts go out to you, okay? Sincerely, we are so sorry for what happened, and we hope that the Lord will grant you all the fortitude to bear the loss. We see you from Sola also sending in your accolades. And then from Tamale, I see you as well. Axim, I see you waving from Axim. Hafasini, I see you waving in from there as well. Takrade, Salt Pond, I see Mankesim. Winiba, I see you all sending in your ways. Thank you so much for joining us today on the show. We have a lady who really knows her cars, because when I look at the comments I'm seeing here, I see McNeil Connie. He says, the lady in the studio has a good knowledge of vehicles. Thank you very much, Mr. Connie. And then I see someone, Eunice Akute. She says, my HR meets my music director at Greater Works. All right, great. Eunice, thank you so much. You see, it's a very small world. I'm getting to meet your HR person, and both of us don't even know that. I mean, we know you, you know, but that's good to see that you're also watching. Abbas Gideon says, love you. Thank you, Abbas. I see a message here from Naomi Kweku. She's asking a question that we're going to address. She says, how safe is it to leave sanitizers in the car? I once heard it could cause a fire outbreak. So Naomi, we're going to get to your questions. Let me just finish up with the people who have sent us some messages here. I see Louisa Yankee Ado. She says, could your sister ever? And she sent us all the love and all the emojis with the hearts. Thank you so much, Louisa, for sending in your comment. I see Ajete Sowa. He says, Madam Engineer. Okay, I guess they're talking to you. And then Nana Koba says, your guest is very beautiful. The picture on the poster did not do her justice. Cry. Okay, we hear you. Thank you so much. We are happy that, seeing her live, she looks really beautiful. And then Nana Koba comes back to say, and she is smart too. Awesome, awesome. I see Peggy Wilson. She says, Anita, you are looking lovely. Oh, Anita, people are loving you tonight. Thank you so much to you all for your comment. So please, let's go and answer Naomi Kweku's question where she asked about sanitizers and how she got to hear that if you leave sanitizers in the car, it could cause an explosion. What do you say about it? Well,
it's true, but I believe if you are using a bottle and you're always refilling, you don't have to fill it to the brim. Maybe you just have to leave some space so that in case it expands and it's evaporating, at least there's room for it to circulate, and when it condenses, there's still enough room for it to do. Because when the pressure builds up, and definitely there's nowhere for the gas to go, that's when the explosion happens. Okay, so Naomi, I hope this answers your question. So you don't need to have it, full to the brim. You need to give some space. That way, at least, it's safer in your car. Because as it is right now, we usually give people lifts, and that's how we are as Africans and as Ghanaians. We always help out, even with the COVID being around. So a lot of us keep sanitizers in our cars so that once you give someone a lift, you give the person the thing to spray. So let's be careful with it. It's good to be nice and to be hospitable, but let's not have it fall to the brim. Now let's look at an aspect of the car that maybe some may not be expecting me to ask about, and that has to do with the hygiene of the car. A lot of times they say a woman's car has got a lot of junk in it. You find junk food, you find dirty clothes because maybe she went out to party or she went for an event and she had to change and she just dumps it in there. The clothes are not washed. You've got a lot of untidy business going on in a woman's car. What would you say about hygiene in a car? What does it really do to the driver and to the people who even get to sit in it? Okay, so just like the house or the home, definitely your office space has to be clean. The same goes for the car. It has to be neat, clean. Sometimes with dust settling on the dashboard and particles here and there, the people react to stuff. So we could get allergies, sometimes infections. So yes, it's good to keep it clean once in a week, if not every week, but once, if not every day, once in a week. That's also good.
That's also good, right? So please, let's keep the hygiene happening in the car. The reason why I'm raising this is that a lot of times the complaints that come when people talk about women is the fact that, okay, sometimes you come, their cars are really neat. You get into their living rooms, it's very neat. But when you go to the washroom, you begin to wonder what kind of girl this person is. So we have some people who also don't keep their washrooms really neat, but they keep their cars neat. But from the conversation we are having right now, you need to have everywhere tidy. The bedroom, the washroom, the kitchen, the living room, the car, every space you find yourself. We need to keep, a level of hygiene that will get people to speak, nice things about us, because you never know. Remember I mentioned earlier when the show started that sometimes people don't want their friends to see them off, or maybe business partners to see them off because they're not comfortable with the car. Sometimes the car is a very nice car. So the discomfort there is no longer about how not nice a car is, but the fact that the hygiene situation of the car is not the best. So they don't want, anybody to come very close. So if I'm pinching you in that place, please, the reason behind it is because I want you to do something about it, okay? So no offenses. Let's work on the hygiene situation that, come across in our cars. Great. So let's say I'm a beginner and I want to get into driving, and I'm just wondering what kind of car would suit me. Budget is one thing anyway, so some people will go for very smaller cars, but for some people too, they have access to some kind of loans, so they are able to get cars that are, high-level cars. But I mean, let's talk about the fact that if you're a beginner, you need a car that is very friendly, that you can maneuver much more easily, because there's some cars that once you just sit in the car, everything is so complicated and it's not so easy for somebody who is just starting. Do you have any brand within your services that is very friendly to a beginner?
Yes, I believe we do. I made mention earlier on the Suzuki Swift HB. It's very cute. It's user-friendly. We also have the Ciaz, the Celerio, the Ertiga, usually for a woman with a large family. We also have the Baleno.
Okay, so let's get back to the one with a very large family. So you have
Ertiga.
something.
It's a 7-seater.
Okay.
Yes, so something for a larger family. Then we have the Celerio and also Jimny. It's a bit sporty, funky, so that's also good.
Oh, that's fine.
Now,
what I like about the fact about it is that somehow your brand seems to look at various needs, and then there's a car for that need. Because initially we talked about the car that really works for women, you remember, and then we looked at the Eclipse Cross, and that works for women. Now we are looking at a car that is user-friendly for a beginner, and you mentioned the Swift.
Yes.
So let's take a look at how the Swift looks like. Okay, so I see the dashboard. So what really makes this user-friendly here, the Swift?
well, for starters, everything is clear. If you enter the dashboard, easy to read. I mean, the symbols are clearly indicated.
Okay.
You have the manual that you can refer to, so once you start reading, you will know what you're supposed to do, which of them are the warning symbols. You'll get to know which of them are the common symbols. The common symbols are usually the fuel gauge indicator. Sometimes when the doors are open, you see the car with open doors, so it lets you know that your doors are open. We also have the safety symbols, which is like the seat belt indicator. You're able to read if it's not functioning properly. We have the airbag indicator. You're able to read that as well. We also have easy lightning indicators, so you know when to use the high beam, low beam, headlights are functioning properly. You can tell if there's a problem or if there's not. We also have the warning lights, as I had made mention, so you're able to read if the engine light is on and there's a problem. You're easily able to notice that and have it fixed. We also have the oil level warning light. It tells you when the oil pressure is down or it's low or there's leakage somewhere. You're able to also notice that easily and get it fixed. So these are some of the things that with the Suzuki Swift, once you are a beginner, you read your manual and you're able to identify these things. It helps you easily move around.
Awesome. And I want to believe that when it comes to the wiper as well, it's very easy to locate, because I remember one experience I had when I started. It wasn't a funny one at all. It was raining and somehow I didn't ask questions about where to find the wiper, and I was driving without the wipers working, you know, because I just couldn't locate it. I was trying to figure it out, and the more I pressed on stuff, the more things were getting worse. So I just had to find a place and I just parked, because that was the safest thing to do. To drive under the rain without wiper was going to be detrimental.
In situations like that, as I said, the manual is available for you to read. So once you read it, you'll get to know how things function.
You know, as practically, am I now going to start looking for the manual and then start searching for it? So these are the things that we need to know beforehand, okay? So I'll go for a quick commercial break, and when we return, we're going to talk about the fact that, okay, now that we've gotten to hear everything Anita Yankee is telling us, how do we begin? What should we do? How do we navigate the situation right now? We'll find that out after this break. Do not go away. And you're welcome back to ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices show. So if you're here with us in Ghana, you must have heard various commercials, you know, on radio, on TV. You must have seen it in the newspapers and social media about the night driving glasses, the night vision driving glasses that is being championed by DVLA, where you get to use glasses at night because of the, the high rays, high beam from other cars. We don't want anyone moving this Christmas period and even into the new year with an impaired vision. It's something that is causing a lot of accidents. So to curtail the accident rate, this has come into the system, and you need to actually check to find out that it's DVLA certified. So just do not move with any night vision driving glasses. You need to move with the one that has been certified by Ghana DVLA. All right, great. And when we are done, we're going to be giving one to Anita Yankee, who well, maybe the next time we get to meet her, she'll tell us about her experience about driving at night using this particular product. So I'm going to be giving you one of this, definitely, and I'll also be using one as well, and I'll tell you the story, all right? So if you have used one as well, you could also put it down in the comments and let us know how the experience was like. And before I went on the break, I mentioned the fact that, okay, we've talked about all the things that we need to have in the car, what we don't need to have in the car, what we need to know. How do we start? She mentioned a little bit of it before we went on the break. She said, oh, I could use the manual. I need to know the manual of the car. But in some cases, or let me say in most cases here in Ghana, we buy second-hand cars and they come without the manuals. So it's a bit difficult to know what to do. So people like me, I go to YouTube and I always check, so what does this mean? And then I type it and then it tells me that, okay, if you see this on your dashboard, this is what happens. Is that what you do? Do you use YouTube? What means do you use to be able to rectify situations or to know exactly what's going on with your car? I mentioned YouTube. What do you use? I want to know in the comments section. All right. So you tell us, how do we navigate? How do we start? Yeah, we've not been doing the right thing. We have a car. We have our cars. Now we want to just, delete all the bad things that we did. Let's start on a clean slate. Let's just assume that I've not been driving. What should I do?
Okay, so just as you take an interest in your health as a woman, your beauty, looks, and others, that you'd also need to take an interest in your car. It means get to know how it sounds, how it feels when it's in motion. You need to pay attention to the servicing period. You also need to maybe know when to renew your roadworthy, your insurance. You need to actually be interested. If possible, get to know your mechanic. He's the best person to relate with. Ask questions. You get to know certain things. And as you said, you can go on the internet, Google, and find out. But if you're also hearing it from the direct source, it helps. But first of all, you have to have an interest in it. You need to be prepared to take care of your car as a baby. And then
talking about interest, you mentioned something about the sound. Seriously, do we really know when the sound is different?
You should. I do.
So how does the sound? How is it different when
So that's
how does it feel when the sound is changed?
If you're very particular and you pay attention, I don't know how to explain this, but it's like you need to bond with your car. So normally you're driving, everything sounds fine. It means you're used to a normal way. The car sounds a very normal way. Then one day you're driving and before you realize you hear this strange noise. That's something different. You need to check it out because that's not how your car sounds under normal circumstances. So the moment you hear something different, you need to wonder what it is, what could be the problem, and check it out. The same with the feeling. You have the car vibrates. Sometimes it's very subtle, so you don't even feel it. And there are times it's very intense. The moment it's intense and continuous, you need to check it. It could be a problem with overheating. It could be the problem with your head gasket. So you need to check. So all these things is just being extra cautious, just giving that attention that you would give to your hair, to your skin. That's the same thing you need to treat your car.
Anyway, it's not very easy, you girls, you know that. I mean, this is the proper way to do it, but we know it's going to be very difficult to imbibe this character because I know that a lot of times, even when I'm moving, my husband tells me stuff like, don't you hear that the sound is different? And I really have not noticed that the sound is different. Sometimes he even goes like, don't you see the alignment is tilted to one side.
Yes.
And I haven't even
And even
noticed. The car is moving and I'm fine. The air condition is in shape. So like all the time, that's how we feel. Once the car can move, let's go.
But if you pay particular attention, there are times you're moving and you feel like the car is wobbly. This, as your husband said, could be, you need to check the alignment, the balancing, because there's something wrong. As you're driving, you realize, nah, this is not how the car is supposed to be. So basically, you need to pay attention. That's it. Be attentive, and just, you would be able to start noticing certain things that you probably don't pay attention to.
All right. So as part of the journey of getting to understand what it is that we need to know, do you offer services like this at CFAO where people can come in and get to ask questions about what they're not comfortable with their cars, for you to take them through it? Do you do such things?
Yes, we do. So you can walk in. We have the service reception. The service advisors are there to help. Well, you could also call our customer service center. Definitely, if there are any questions, they'll be able to give you the answers that you're looking out for. Aside that, we are also there. We have the salespeople who are there to help. Once you come in to get a new car, they'll take you through the process, explain things to you, get to know what you want, what you're looking out for, and give you the best car that will be suitable for your needs.
Amazing. So let's take a look at maybe somebody is watching right now and is beginning to make plans to, get a car. So at CFAO, are there packages? Are there ways people could purchase cars, in a friendly manner, much more friendly manner, instead of having to pay everything at once? Is there a system where people can at least be eased a little bit?
Okay, so yes, there is. We have the Auto Finance by CFAO. So basically, we've partnered with some financial institutions, namely SG Ghana, Bank of Africa, and Zenith. So what it is once you come in and you want to buy a car and you don't have the funds, we would try and give you our contact person in these banks. So what it is the rate is 17%. Very good. You need to pay 25% of the deposit of the cost of the car. And then once you go through all the necessary processes and the bank approves it, you can drive away with your vehicle.
Wow.
Now the payment plan is between 1 to 5 years, depending on what sort of loan facility the customer wants.
That's quite friendly. 1 to 5 years, is really friendly.
And with that also, we also have the maintenance contract. So at the point when you buy, you can buy it the time you are buying the car, or maybe later on after. So what it is it's called the AICO by CFAO.
Okay.
Whilst, as you said, women, we don't like to think too much. So as you're buying your car, you buy this maintenance contract. It's a package. It's also between 1 to 5 years. And what it is once you buy this package, you get to have or enjoy free servicing. If it's 1 year, it means you can enjoy free servicing for 20,000 kilometers. That's for 4 services.
Wow.
So, yes. And so if it's 5, you can just imagine what it is. So that's
a whole lot.
AICO by CFAO.
I think a lot of women have to buy into the AICO, where you're just there and they remind you, servicing is due. Could you please bring your car for us to do the servicing? We want stuff like that. Very easy life. Thank you so much, CFAO's AICO. Unfortunately, this is where we get to wrap up the curtain and close it up. I see a message here from Ajete Sowa. He says, our HR do all. I see Charles Owusu, fantastic Anita. I see Ajete Sowa again. He says, tell me more. Oh, Ajete, we are done. Oh. I see Nikwe Daniel. He says, there are things to check every time you are ready to use your car. First, do it yourself. And CFAO teaches you that when you first pick your new car from us. Well noted, Nikwe Daniel. Charles Owusu, Anita, you are on point. Please keep the comments coming. Anita will get to read all of them and then she'll respond to them, okay, if need be. So the repeat broadcast of this show is going to be brought to you on Saturday at 12 noon. So tune in on TV to watch it. If you're not able to watch on TV, well, the Facebook, it's there. Go to ETV Ghana on Facebook and you get to watch it as well. We'll also upload it on YouTube tomorrow so that you get to watch it there as well. So we've tried our best to ensure that we make you watch the show at any point in time. So would you want to give any last words to people who are watching right now, especially women?
Okay. So I would like to say that it's, if possible, sometimes, you know, most of us would go for the pre-owned vehicles or the second-hand vehicle. If it's possible, you could maybe go for a brand new one. With that, in terms of maintenance, the first few years it's less expensive. At CFAO, as I said, you can enjoy the maintenance contract. And for the brand new car, even if you have the finance to buy a more expensive one, you can start off with the Suzuki Swift, a less expensive car. Practice around with it, and when you're comfortable and you know, okay, now I need to get my dream car, you can bring it back in. We have the pre-owned vehicle service, so you basically bring it back in, and we are partnered with Car 45, so they will do the assessment, ensure that everything is fine, it's safe, and then with the value given on the car, you just pay the balance. So if the car is, maybe the new car you want is 80,000, and after assessing your old car, it is maybe 20. So 20 will be like the down payment, and then you just top it up with and the 80,000, the 60,000, and you're good to go with a new car.
Amazing. So if somebody wants to reach out to CFAO, the social media handle maybe on Facebook is?
So for Facebook, it's Mitsubishi by CFAO Ghana or Suzuki by CFAO Ghana. For Instagram, the IG handle is Suzuki by CFAO or Mitsubishi by CFAO.
Great. And then the office location here in Accra?
So in Accra, we are located at the Airport City. We are close to the NIB Bank, the airport branch, or adjacent the Aviance. In Kumasi, we are on the Hapa Road, close to KMA, that's the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly. In Takoradi, we are on the Cape Coast Road, also sharing, or maybe close to the Takoradi Flour Mills. And in Tema, we are on the Hospital Link Road in Tema Community 9. So you can always walk in at any time. Our sales executives are there, the service receptionists, the service advisors are there to help.
Thank you very much. So for those of you watching, do make a date with us next week. And until then, do enjoy the rest of our interesting lineup for you. Bye-bye.